Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof. And welcome to this session of Shadows of Sorcery, which is going to go horribly wrong. I can just feel it in my gut already.
Well, that's not really a feeling, that's just like standard.
We have informed you
This aura emanates
shit.
from this party.
I
didn't even do anything.
I wonder why that could be. It's almost like everyone in this call is neurodivergent, and hence any perceived plans are just going to go completely out the window.
Well, you know, it happens. It happens. Still, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to session 34 of Shadows of Sorcery, entitled Devilish Designs. I'm sure this will be interesting. We are joined this evening by our dumbass party of adventurers.
Hey.
Am I wrong?
No.
Nope.
I'll have you know I have a +3 from intelligence.
Intelligence and wisdom are two different things.
I have a +1 in wisdom.
Yeah, but it's not as good as your intelligence, is it? Anyway,
I mean, that's true of all
we're
millennials.
joined tonight by our brilliant, our amazing, our incredibly well endowed Horace, played by Rakan.
We rolled dice for it as no.
He rolled dice for it, and now he's gonna have trouble keeping his pants on, apparently.
Can't argue against the dice.
It's retractable.
I think.
Yeah, it was
all are.
retractable.
Can we not
Yeah.
bring ourselves into this fucking fantasy world filled with magic, danger, and like assassins with does the bird have a telescopic penis? Can we not do that?
It's a bit
I think
too
you were the
late,
one
I
who
feel.
suggested it, so.
We are also
I
joined
mean,
by
it's a cloaca, so.
the dramatis
Oh,
personae of this entire party, the one who wants to fuck literally everything, Prodigious Maximus, played by Elfie.
Hello, darlings.
Because they're always.
We are
having-
joined
Hello.
by the straight man of the party, who is not in fact straight or a man, Ingvar Svan, played by Lydia.
I'm pretty sure Ingvar was male the last time I checked. No, I believe he was referring to you, Lydia.
The player, not, well, I don't know, actually. I don't know. Anyway, we are also joined by this long-suffering thief, the slowly despairing member of the party, Darren Moran, played by Lying.
I'm the voice of reason with a ball gag.
Alright. And last but not least, the one who inspires all the bad ideas, apparently, the librarian, played by Zarian.
Meowdy partner.
Oh, boy.
New lore, Darren is into BDSM, hell yes.
Not by choice.
I'm going to throw you all out of the window.
We don't have that ring anymore because somebody gave it to the villain.
Hey, I've got 18. Ingvar's got
Elenaeus
18
has it
strength.
right.
I'm pretty sure I can toss
Elenaeus
somebody
has it
through a
right.
window.
My hands are clean in this, metaphorically speaking.
You played the villain.
I am
I
the voice
did
of
play the
reason,
villain.
yet I cannot speak.
I did indeed. Metaphorically speaking, my hands are clean in this.
You literally set up every single thing. Your hands must be the bloodiest of all.
Well, you know. Regardless.
They've got a
Ladies and
point.
gentlemen, last we left off, who wants to do the recap?
I shall.
Oh no.
You shall. All right.
I shall.
Have a
so-
volunteer for a change.
We started off in a pub, in a tavern, discussing our options after stealing the ring of self-defenestration, of which we discussed whether we should give it to the evil Mr. Blackwood, and how boned we would be if we didn't, and how even more boned we would be if we try to escape via any means. We then came to the conclusion that we should probably know what the ring does. Our delightful Horace, I believe, attuned themselves to the ring, and it was figured out that the defenestration is through any window, including scrying windows, and it is a very, 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 very powerful ring. The ring. Then we decided that if we gave it to Blackwood, we would also be boned, and we spent a good hour discussing whether we should fight Blackwood or not. And came to the decision that we probably shouldn't. So we did a straight deal. We got a good amount of money from it, and we left, regretting our decision nevertheless. Also, we discussed dick sizes, but I don't think that's as relevant.
It's incredibly relevant, excuse you.
Oh yeah, we discussed whether enlargement could be used on. Never mind.
Yeah, yes, that was part of the discussion.
Is that a good summary?
But yes,
DM, tell me I did a good job.
God, give
They
me
can't.
strength.
They're eating.
Oh no, God's breaking out the alcohol already.
oh dear lord.
I thought that was a whole
Yes,
bottle of
That is
champagne.
a very decent summary of what happened last session. You all
Yay!
survived, which is more than I can say for the
Miraculously.
captain of the guard.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to railroad you a little bit right now.
Oh no.
Yes.
You all exit Pesca La Tanva, the restaurant.
We all exit Tesco.
You all exit Tesco's. You have gone in, you have
Yes.
bought nothing that you were looking for, and you have left.
It sounds like a normal shopping trip.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, you all exit the restaurant, Pesca La Tanva, where you had your meeting with Lord Gabriel Blackwood, where you handed over the Ring of Boundless Defenestration, and in exchange, each received, what was it, 500 gold pieces apiece?
50 platinum to be specific.
Yep,
So
50
the equivalent.
platinum. You exit the restaurant, and you all breathe a sigh of barely contained relief. And you depart towards your rooms at the Copper Eagle Inn. What would you like to discuss en route?
I will say.
Sorry, no. You go first.
No. First off, I feel we should leave our discussions for once we arrive at the rooms. But secondly, I just want to say Horace looks very clearly incredibly antsy.
Mm.
Okay.
But that's all I'm gonna say.
I would
Can
like
we
one
discuss
of you
the
to roll me a perception check.
Okay.
someone who's got
does
better
anyone have more
perception
than
than
plus
me?
one?
Nope.
I believe.
I have a +2.
Perception, perception, what the hell is it? I've got a +3.
You roll.
Go for it, Ingvar.
That should be a friggin' nat 1 or something. Whoop! Off you go.
Ocean dice. Ocean dice.
Ocean dice. Ocean.
Oh,
The ocean is good to us.
Very
That's a
nearly a
19.
dirty 20.
Okay. Alright then. So. Yeah, okay. As you're all walking quietly through the city streets, it's getting relatively late in the evening at this point, after your encounter. You, Ingvar, catch out of the corner of your eye. Doesn't even register for a second before you realize that you've seen something. You notice a figure dart down an alleyway. away from you. But that wasn't the interesting thing. They were wearing black, but you saw a gleam of red as they darted away from you. They went down an alleyway about 2 buildings ahead of you, and that's about all you see.
Interesting. So he glances to the rest of the party. Did anybody else see that?
What?
I don't know. Did I see that?
Nope.
See what?
There
No.
was some sort of dark figure ducked down one of the alleyways, but there was some. Oddly enough, there was some sort of red gleam to them. I can't quite place what that was, but it was so sudden they vanished.
I'm going to cast upon myself detect magic once more, and look in the direction that Ingvar is pointing.
If you want to save a spell slot, I can constantly see and detect magic.
Oh, all right, then yeah,
Yeah,
you do it.
I just
Okay.
look in the direction.
So, librarian, you look in the direction that Ingvar is pointing, and one of the interesting things about detect magic in this universe is that it picks up very brief residual magical trails, but the things that leave these trails have to be pretty strong. It has to be pretty strong enchantment or a creature that has a relatively strong magical essence. You look in the direction of this alleyway, this dark alleyway. You don't see any generalized sort of magical thing. What you do spy is a very small smattering of sort of reddish dust that's been left just at the entrance of the alleyway. That gives off a very slight magical essence.
Well,
Oh
whatever it was,
my god!
Oh, sweet Christ.
Hello! Oh my god! Oh my god!
38.
Ah! Why? Why? Who?
Oh,
Who the?
holy fuck!
Who the? Okay. Hello.
That is
Hi.
that is a lot of dough.
That's. Oh. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Yeah, Grohl, like, don't
Nearly
look
enough.
at me, Grohl. You turned up.
Okay. Don't usually take a break during the D&D streams, but I'll make an exception for this.
Understandable.
Okay. I had to scroll up quite a way to actually find the end of that. Growlmaster, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Encia, Nightfox _ Rockethead1, Paladin _2 _4, Julius, Widgrin87, Shadow Toiger Gaming, Zenither Live, Kel Darks, Dark Rays, TB Sliver, UMB694, Sawtooth44, Edit Edward, Sophia Seal, Lord Capson, Larson Stoll, Shadow Ari, Mrs. DP1, The Mr. Shinigami, Crawling Chaos, Zerinia5, Nullen 00, XX Pyro Ghost, Mr. Germ Hunter, Topster Gear, XX Acanthia XX, Captain John B87, Ricotaro Nico, Donna Keys, Jack Hammersom, Dragon Reaper 000, thanks for the stream, Agent Sinister, Evioxt, Farrell 1701, Firebird721, Firefan44, and there's more! And okay. And Rakan the Legend, how dare you? Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Azure, Challenge 733, Neo CBR, Aegis 83, Malk, Shadow Rider, Galadas, Stolen Cookies, Time Dragon 45, to Growmaster, Sir Jamie the Resilient, Esper SW, Corventum, Scarlet Strategy, King is Cool, Ogby84, Nickmat97, Go Prince 91, Chloe Selenia, and Captain Manslaughter. Ow! My voice hurts now.
Hey guys, you need to almost double that to finish the hype train.
And we hit a level 9 hype train in 2. In 2.
Let it be known.
Holy shit.
And thank
Let
you
it be
to
known.
Lydia
I did
for
this.
gifting 100 bits.
I gave the 20 subs because it got us to the 69 sub goal. So
Amazing.
Fulfilling my civilian duty.
Amazing.
That's
I
fucking
never get anything
beautiful.
like this on my streams, and they're much more.
I don't usually get anything like this. You know that, like. I don't know why anyone wants to spend money on me, but thank you very much.
I literally have a
very
GoFundMe for my medication, and I don't get this amount of charity.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Oh
when
my
Grohl
God.
turns up somewhere, you usually
Oh.
you take a dive because sub bombs are about.
Yeah, that does not happen often, and when it does, I usually hit the deck. Ow, my voice.
You'll be alright, buddy.
Oh God. Okay. My God. Right. Where were we?
Magical red dust.
Magical red dust. That's right. Magical red dust. My. Oh my God. Thank you, Growlmaster. Thank you, Rakan. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you all for basically what keeps me going. Thank you very much.
Thank you
And
for
it-
paying for the alcohol that Lucy will be chugging after this stream.
Oh god.
I wish I had alcohol to chug after this stream. My God.
The
we-
therapy.
Thank
the
you for paying for
therapy
ice
and
cream
the
that I'll be chugging after this stream. There we go.
And the New Year's party.
Oh, no.
It's party. Oh, God. Okay. Right. So. Slightly magical red dust. Trailing in towards the alleyway. That is what you see, Librarian.
Cool. There's a bunch of magic dust going that way too. If anyone cares, I guess, about that, the magic stuff.
Hold on. I need to very quickly check something. Ration. Spells. Here we go. Under D. D. Detect magic. It's not the presence of magic. Ah, okay. So, you get to learn the school of magic that is related to this essence, Librarian. I wanted to double check before I gave you that information. So, the school of magic that is related to this essence is... let me see if I can... It is... Oi, get out of the way. conjuration magic.
No, apparently they're conjuring something as well. That's not
Possibly
good.
louder, I guess.
Shit.
Might have a fireball ready if we try and chase them, basically.
I've got fire arrows. Does that count?
I have
Are they
an
ball
idea.
shaped?
So what?
Or what? I don't know. They're pointy and they're on fire, and yet they're not burning.
Who's the sneakiest person here? That would be lying.
Oh no.
Nope.
Yeah, that'd be Darren.
Actually, would that come under stealth?
No.
For sneaky.
Depends,
Stealth?
because
Yes.
Prod's been doing a think this whole time, and Prod's come up with a plan.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
just.
no.
You see a plan shift across their face, and he sort of
Yeah.
struts a bit more. He's sure of himself. He sort of leans into the librarian and goes, "I think I've got an idea. Not about this little guy, whatever, but I think I've got an idea about Blackwood."
Oh no.
Lucian,
No,
can
no.
you give us like a little description about what Blackwood looks like?
Oh no.
Okay.
'Cause we saw
it in
Blackwood
the- possible.
stands at 6'5".
Jesus.
He has slicked back, relatively short hair. He usually wears essentially like a three-piece suit, but without the jacket. So a waistcoat and suit slacks. He wears heavy sort of mid sort of what's the sort of I've forgotten the name. It's not thigh. It's the one between the foot and the knee. What's that
Calf?
section of
The foot and
between
the
ankle.
ankle?
No, like the actual leg section, not the ankle. Like between the ankle and the knee. What?
The tip.
Calf.
No, it's not the tibia.
Calf. No. I mean, yes, I guess.
Shin. It's
like-
the shin.
No, it's not the shin. It's anyway. The point is, his
Leg.
boots usually come up to about halfway to the knee, essentially. They're like heavy
the
leather
other side of
boots.
it. Oh, nice.
He wears a monocle, and he is generally never caught smiling.
So
Never
what
seen
you're
him
telling
smile.
me
is
is
he's
that
tall,
he's hot.
dark, and handsome. Yes.
He's tall, dark, and handsome. Thanks for the graphic. Thanks for the graphic, Lydia. So Prod's going to the librarian. You know what? Blackwood's kind of. Did you see Blackwood? Like,
Oh yes, I
I-
saw him kill a man in cold blood. It was quite horrifying.
I saw two of them.
well, yeah, that. But I mean, I've seen plenty of death in my time. I mean, he was quite.
Roll me an intelligence check real quick.
Me?
No, Darren. Not you.
Oh,
I would
sorry.
never ask you to roll me an intelligence check. Even though I have
Wow.
multiple times.
Prod's not smart.
Line?
Hmm?
Roll me
Make an intelligence check.
Oh no. Okay. Eh. 19.
19.
We're very
Okay.
consistent so far tonight.
Yeah, no, that's relatively good. You did notice a key difference between Blackwood and his doppelganger.
Oh,
Which is?
Blackwood, the real one.
he's packing.
Blackwood, the
Fuck's
real
sake.
Blackwood has a slight dent in his ear, slight scar.
Oh.
that the doppelganger does not have.
Tall, dark, handsome, and scarred. Sorry.
Barely perceptible, but sure.
It's a very small distinct difference, but you notice after that stressful situation, recalling it now, you realize that there was a difference. It's a small difference, but there was a difference.
Anyway, Prod's like, librarian. What if? I'm just saying this as a hypothetical. You need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
What if we were to get him in a situation where he's not wearing all of the enchanted garments that is giving him the edge on us?
Oh, I had a great idea for those. So it does look like a grenade, but it's so much more elegant.
My friend.
It's a low bar for a grenade.
What, you want to get him while he's taking a shower?
Sort of.
That's one option.
Sounds like he probably would shower in that, honestly. He seems the type.
I never knew.
Oh, but there's other things you can do without. I want to fuck
I
him.
love how the party's moving just in tailspire with none of us paying attention.
Oh,
Just go right out and say it. Why don't you?
Like,
You're trying to take him to bed.
Prod's intelligence is really low. He can't be subtle. He's not good at it.
I think we need to have a talk about the birds, the bees, and the self-preservation instincts.
Yes, but
That
I'm
Prod does
saying.
not have, apparently.
Okay, here's the thing, right? He's a bad guy, so I don't mind stealing his shit after we fuck.
Are you saying this out loud?
I'm
Yeah.
saying it sort of, kind of, a little bit stage whispery, and I'm kind of like huddling up with all of his other thing and just like talking about it.
Like, one
Like,
sec.
okay, so
I just
actually
grabbed the
picked up-
fucking horn for a second, blow into it. Do I hear a yell or a scream or anything?
Let me check.
Oh, this poor fucking, was it a gnome or a dwarf?
No, you do not hear a yell.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
Mr. Short Spyman isn't listening. Do not fuck the villain.
But I mean,
Never ends
okay.
well, alright?
Okay.
With this
Okay.
incredibly
I understand where you're
distracting-
coming from.
Normand.
With
I
this incredibly
absolutely-
distracting line of thought, your entire party walks past the alleyway. Figure and red dust forgotten.
Sorry.
I don't think Nick's forgetting about it. He's just
Yeah, we're
kind
just
of
having a
all
conversation
vanished.
next
Set
to it.
to the back of the mind for now.
Fair enough.
What I'm saying is that if we, I mean, did you see him? He was really fit. Also, I've been able to worm my way in and out of various situations and people, and it's ended up mostly fine. I only got turned into stone for 13 years for a little bit. She was really
You
hot. I
tried
promise
to
you.
fuck the Gorgon?
Well, she was kind of in a different form at the time, and she was.
Fuck the Gorgon?
I mean,
Oh god.
did you
He's
see
not
what position I was
sober
in when I was unfrozen? And when I was
Impressive,
frozen,
yes.
Oh god.
I was
You
raging.
recall
that
that when they were unfrozen, Prod's position was somewhat, as far as you
Navigate.
understand it, a bit of a hip thrust while looking like he was mounting a horse.
That's quite the description.
Mm.
Yep.
Guess your body wasn't the only part that turned to stone.
You had to say it. You had to say it.
Look,
It was
Look.
right there.
Sure
look.
was.
Rakan, roll
I
me an
don't mind
intelligence
if I
check.
die during this, as long as I do die doing something really fun.
Roll
What
me
do
an
you need to
intelligence
roll?
check, Rakan.
Intelligence? Okay. So I got a +5 on this. Let's see if we can keep it consistent. 14.
14.
No,
It's not a hard
exactly
thing.
14, actually.
It's not a hard thing to remember. It's stuck in your head pretty well. Considering that it was mid-battle. You do recall that when Prod was unfrozen, his pants were down, and there was nothing there.
What did his dick just get magicked away?
Or broken off.
Oh, good God.
Oh, dear lord. Prod, are you a son of a...
He was asking the enlarging question for a reason.
Just to remember that, I just like, collapse on the table. Just.
I hope, chat, that this is the quality D&D that you've all come here for.
Clearly.
Your precious money spent.
This is what
on
you
this.
waste your precious money on, Growlmaster. I'm terribly sorry about it.
Okay.
I'm blaming the half orc.
Thing is you see about Prod that Prod is now determined, and he's not exactly asking permission. He's telling you what he is going to do.
Prod, please do not fuck him.
Okay, but I'm serious. We could get him in a really compromising situation. I would have a wonderful day, and and it means we could learn a thing or two. You know, Isaac's always been trying to get close to see what's been really going on. Well, I would know exactly what's going on.
I don't think Isaac wants to get in his pants.
Exactly, and that's why I have the advantage.
You guys, Bob, Bob. I know. It's always been wanting to get
that well,
close.
Groll. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was like, oh, Bob, right? Yeah, Bob. I do remember Bob said he wanted to fuck Blackwood. Yeah. Guys, remember, keep quiet on that.
You hear from behind you, as you're all now sitting in the Copper Eagle, a throat being cleared.
Turn around.
Turn around. You see a figure in black plate armor with
boy.
a casting pistol at their side.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Are you lost?
Hello, Bob.
Hi, sweetheart. Just flash the abs.
I can't believe that I'm having to tell you this. But don't fuck the villain!
Yeah.
Thank you, Guardian Angel. Not
Isaac.
friend anymore.
Isaac sits...
Why, do you want to get first place?
Isaac looks at you warily.
Prod is being entirely sincere, no deception check needed.
Fair enough. Okay. There we go. I needed a mini. There we go. Isaac takes a seat, or rather stands behind a seat, and looks at you all. Now that things have calmed down, we can get a real conversation in. Wouldn't that be nice? He says, and he waves the bartender, who pours a mug of ale and brings it over to him. And he puts it down on the table, and he does the Riker sit to sit down.
Right, over the back of the...
Over the back of the chair. Leg over the back of the chair, sits down.
Existence.
Oh.
I am sure you all have a lot of questions. So get the big ones out of the way first. He
Why
says,
haven't
and
you
he takes a
apologized for
massive
faking your own
gulp.
death, for one?
It was necessary at the time. keep you all safe. Wants to keep my daughter safe.
You understand that had the exact opposite effect, and now all of us are in danger, you included.
You most of all, if
Thankfully, you're
anything.
wrong about that.
Why did you not just say in the letter that you codified, that you clearly thought was some sort of channel, that you were alive, and we would have never come?
I didn't have the time. I had to...
I'm very sorry, but I really need to press... You had the time to create a stenographied letter to us, but you didn't have the time to include the words, I'm alive. Don't go. And then when we got here, you wanted absolutely nothing to do with us.
That wasn't what I said. That wasn't what I said.
That's the implication I've been getting a lot, honestly.
I've been trying to keep you all from making a massive mistake.
By showing up periodically in a back alley to tell us we're idiots.
I've had eyes on you since you all dropped by Blackwood's Manor. I didn't know you were in the city until then. As soon as you dropped by, there was suspicion on everyone who was present. Someone told him told you where he lived, how to get here. I had to lay low. I could only get away from the people watching me for a few hours at most. And it takes a while to get across this city. It's big. So, yes, I had to keep our conversations brief and to the point. Look, Blackwood is less suspicious. Not entirely without suspicion, but less suspicious. He believes, to a degree, at least I believe he believes, to a degree, that you are somewhat legitimate in your presence, in what you've set out to be in front of him. So, for the moment, we're all relatively safe. As am I.
So, like, look him dead in the eye. What do you suggest we do now?
Main reason that I didn't want you all to kill Blackwood. He looks about as if he's checking on no one's list. Is because he knows where my daughter is. And I don't. The Carnifex Syndicate is led by 3 distinct individuals. Lord Blackwood, who controls diplomacy and general relations between the various guilds and cities that the Carnifex works within. Then we have the Baroness, Vortina Utrecht Amora. She is known to be a powerful alchemist and sorcerer. And lastly, Evan Law, an assassin and poisons master, who also, it turns out, decided to kill my wife's sister and take my daughter for her own.
I'm sorry, Isaac. If actually, like almost twitching at this point. If he had taken your daughter, listen. I love you. You're still a close friend. But if he had taken your daughter, don't you think that was actually information that you should have told us at the start, so that we didn't go through all of this? I'm sorry.
Perhaps I should have. I will admit I was at fault for that. But I've been embedded in the Carnifex Syndicate for a few months. And I have lost I've lost trust. I don't know. Everyone in this city is under Blackwood's payroll. I didn't know if he'd gotten to you before I saw him. I wasn't sure I could trust you anymore, and I'm sorry for that. But
With all due respect, Isaac, if you couldn't trust us, then I don't know how you. Sorry, I'll stay quiet. I'm not in the right headspace right now for this.
Trust goes both. Sorry,
go ahead, Lydia.
I was going to say trust goes both ways. So if you're saying you couldn't trust us, then at the end of the day, how can you be sure that we trust you?
I can't be sure.
Especially since we're now technically working for Blackwood.
Yes. But it puts you in an advantageous position.
We could be in a more advantageous position.
You could have been fucking dead. Sorry.
He was dead. All that would have happened is the Carnifex would have levied a new leader into his position and laid waste to maybe half the city. Or anyone in the city daring to attempt his death. And all the high-ranking members of his circle, of which I have been one for a few weeks now, would have been executed. In the Baroness's words, if one of the leading members of the Carnifex dies, his closest allies must be traitors.
So, what you're telling me is, you knew all of that from the beginning. You didn't tell us it. You didn't. You didn't tell us when you first met with Darren about the fact that they're holding your daughter hostage. You didn't tell us that they keep complete open blame on everyone. You didn't tell us that they destroy the city, and you didn't tell.
I told you that there would be consequences. I told you that
But the consequence.
That there would be consequences. That it was likely that the city would end up.
when someone says consequences, Isaac, with all due when someone says consequences, it usually means that it would be levied on us. We came here. We wanted to go through with this operation because we were ready to handle the consequences. We weren't ready for. We wouldn't have gone through this if the fallout would have ended up with you being killed and half a city being destroyed. Why couldn't you have told us this from at the very least, before when you met with Darren, so that we got away from there, and now he doesn't have that fucking ring.
So, as a quick side note, and I know that it's been a few weeks since these conversations happened, but Isaac did inform very specifically that the likely outcome of Blackwood's death was partial or complete destruction of the city. That was something that he did inform you all about, or at least informed one member of the party. So that was something that was informed.
Are you sure? Because I'm trying to remember Darren's conversation with Isaac before we went on with the operation while we were casing the place.
Darren had 3 conversations with Isaac so far.
Yeah.
Is that including this one?
No.
No. You had the one, at the Pillars of Silk. You had the. My apologies. 2 conversations. The one at the Pillars of Silk, and you had the one behind Pescalatanta. And this one.
I'm trying to remember that conversation. Are you sure that he said that? Because I seem to remember that he did not.
Pretty sure. Pretty certain. Pretty certain that
I didn't
was
think-
something that he-
However, we got the message. But no matter if he did or didn't, it was probably not
Yeah.
communicated.
The conveyance was, it wasn't just consequences for you guys, it was consequences for everybody. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no, my apologies. Isaac didn't tell you that the city would probably get destroyed if Blackwood got killed. The guard
Yes.
captain and the mage who allowed you to get the ring, who allowed you 5 minutes to get the ring, they told you that. They informed
Yes,
you
they-
of the city.
They told us that, and then the guard captain said, "Well, if you," and then once we told him that, if a couple of outsiders who had nothing to do with this and aren't from Farrenholm do it, then the blame will be squarely on them, and no consequences would come to the city. And they didn't argue against that. So,
They did
sorry,
realize that, but there were other reasons behind that.
yeah,
Because they knew what you were there to do. But
Yes.
back to the matter at hand. Isaac sort of stares pensively at his ale before looking up at all of you. He says, I am sorry. I realize that I've put you all through much more difficult situations than I had previously thought. I didn't realize that my passing would affect you so much. I suppose I will have to make this right. But
We can still work on it. We can work together. If he thinks we're mercenaries and is now trusting us just even a little bit, that's 2 sets of people who are in. And I'm very sorry, I didn't know about your wife and daughter. Apologies. I won't hit on you again.
my quite
I mean,
dead. Anyway,
an emotion passes Prawn's face.
moving on. There are a few things we can do to mitigate our possible consequences for the death of life. And there are a few ways we can get the information that I'm looking for. And I get the feeling, librarian, that I might have some information that you're going to be very, very interested in.
What sort of information is that?
We'll start with that, actually. The Carnifex Syndicate is led, as I said, by these three, and I've gleaned through various methods their current plan. Have any of you heard of, and I assume that you have, librarian, of an institution, I suppose you could call it, called the Wandering Library?
Yes, I know
In
of it.
passing.
Yes.
I
No.
happen to be the head librarian.
What the Baroness, Lord Blackwood, and Evan Lorne seek, what that ring is a key piece of, is to create a machine or a magical construct of some sort that will give the Carnifex a permanent gateway to the Wandering Library. I don't know how much of that is truly possible, but from the brief glimpses I've seen while stuck below some floor grating, the brief snippets of conversation I've heard when the Baroness was visiting earlier this month, they think it is not only possible, but they think that they have some of the key pieces already in place to do so.
So they're planning to use that. I'm guessing the ring is key part in that.
I believe so. I believe that
How?
the ring is what they'll use to generate or to split the gateway.
And
That shouldn't be possible. The ring's effect, it's contained to the windows that are already open or gateways that aren't fully there. There needs to be an opening first. They can't just gain access, surely.
Yes, I believe there does need to be an opening, but from what I've heard, the Baroness believes that an opening can be created, not using the ring, but something else. I don't know what they want with the Wandering Library. I mean, from what I've heard, it is a vast and unconstrued branch of knowledge dating back centuries.
Those
Whatever
idiots
they're-
are going to rip apart the planes to violate the library, is what you're telling me.
I believe so.
I went sort of just comforting the librarian, like arm around them, and being like, "It's okay, it's okay. We won't let that happen. It's okay."
There are a few people and things that we can probably get to aid us, or to aid you, if you want to attempt to help this. One of the ones that I believe will be able to assist us is Yaranax Vor. have probably already met her. The disgruntled lady who serves as Blackwood's secretary.
Oh yes, lovely.
Oh yeah.
She was nice. She liked the book.
Chief enforcer.
Oh
Ah.
no.
You gave her a library card.
Yeah, that
Devilish
happens.
is complicated. But let's just say that she doesn't really like working for Blackwood. But she doesn't currently have an alternative. Bound by what I hear, magical contract. If
Oh,
we
infernal
were
law.
to possibly, let's say, cancel this contract, there is a high likelihood that she would see fit to aid us in our or my endeavors.
I'm guessing Blackwood has this contract on their person at all times.
No, actually. I believe that the contract is located in a vault somewhere. But only those closest to Blackwood, like, for example, his secretary, know the location. And only Blackwood knows the way to enter it. Combination, lock, key. I don't know what it would be, but
We should be better allies. I'm saying this in an unselfish way, mind you. I feel like we need to get to know him more intimately.
Probably stop.
Look, if only he knows the code or the location. If there's a way to convince him to share that information, a way to make him vulnerable.
so, in fairness, Isaac just said he or those closest to him know the location. How to get in, that's a different story.
I might have a really terrible idea.
Is it more terrible
Was
than giving an
mine?
ancient artifact to a villain 3 hours ago?
Possibly, actually.
The bar was so low. So fucking low.
And we've come up with one plan that's worse? Let's hear yours!
So, what? There's a bit of a dwarven proverb here, which is that the easiest way to find where a man keeps his gold is to tell him you already stole it.
That's actually quite smart.
So you're suggesting we tell him we
I'm
know where it
suggesting-
is?
I'm suggesting that we convince Blackwood or one of the relevant parties that the vault has already been looted.
How would we do that, though? What?
That is the next question.
Do we produce some kind of fake contract?
But whatever,
I mean-
whatever happens, in order to actually verify that that they have been robbed, they'll have to go to and open the vault.
That is true, but how do we excuse us getting that information?
When Blackwood is the only one that knows the way into the vault.
We don't necessarily need to have the information. We could just say we've been hearing rumors.
Do you really?
We could just say that we were at the bar one night and we heard a drunken pair of ne'er-do-wells bragging about having accomplished it.
Perhaps I
One way or
could
the other, he'll have to check.
lend.
No one in this city would be that stupid.
Perhaps I could
Isaac.
lend an idea here. What
Yes?
if the information came from a source trusted one, say his infernally contract-bound secretary, who has no reason to lie to him, who he would trust implicitly because he can control their every word.
We need a disguise.
Though that stuff easier said than done. Remember, she wasn't. Like at the entrance. I remember she was something else, like not what she seemed. You know what I mean?
She was like a special creature. I can't remember the specific name though. It was like something demonic or archdemony, I think.
Yeah. That's the problem. We a bit hard to fake that if we start getting suspicious, and with this kind of. So, either we'd need a good enough performance that we give him no excuse to be suspicious.
You could fake archdemon energy quite easily if you have a spell that aligns with it in any way.
Would a fireball count?
No, but
Tell him
Rebecca is-
something.
Isaac, how many people who know where this vault is do you have under surveillance of any kind?
Daranax would know for sure, though I doubt she would be able to get anywhere near it. Wards and specific enchantments to prevent specific intervention. Perhaps one or two of Blackwood's lieutenants, and maybe, well, maybe his double might know. And, well, any of the other leaders of the Carnifex Syndicate would know as well, but they're not in the city.
Now, Prod, I know I said I didn't want you to fuck Blackwood. The double, on the other hand,
The double.
I feel like that's fair game.
At the same time? Or...
No!
God looks so happy. You put that idea in his head. He's thrilled.
Oh no.
Oh god, why?
Cast minor illusion and censor your mouth.
Why in particular the double? Do you think that? Oh, probably the nearest and dearest.
Yeah,
to...
the nearest would probably know all about the vault because they'd probably been there before, acting as a double, while, you know, illusory, invisible, skulky man sits in the back, not wanting to be assassinated.
Oh.
Though, when it comes to something like the vault, I think that's easier said than. I'm not sure, since I imagine that Blackwood would want to be there personally.
I mean, presumably they would be, they'd just be invisible. Either way, they seem close enough that they probably would know, and being a double probably presents enough of an ego problem that you could get into their head pretty well. I mean, how would you feel if you constantly lived in someone else's shadow as a lesser version of them?
I'd have no idea. I'm amazing.
Exactly, but they'd be insecure.
Elfie's gotta go. I'll be back in 30 minutes. I'm very, very sorry.
Elfie's going.
It's fine.
Prod poofs out of the universe for a second.
Starts T-posing.
Timoteo just passes out on the
Rod
table.
just immediately passes out drunk.
Immediate possuming from the latent effects of that wine they drank.
I can never tell whether he can take alcohol or fucking can't. It's fucking
I think
random.
it's up to the fates, a dice roll, if you will.
suppose.
Can you imagine if we rolled dice for everything we did?
Oh god.
I mean,
In the old days, you could.
roll a nat 20 on your fitness check for the day. Immediately get shrink wrapped abs.
This is Constitution check.
Good lord.
Rolls intelligence. Immediately learns quantum physics on a nat 20.
Well, you're rolling that one just to get how to breathe.
I feel like if I knew quantum physics, I'd finally understand how Roll20's fucking dice randomizer works.
Roll20 has a dice randomizer? I never knew.
Yeah, it's called quantum dice. It's weird.
It doesn't work.
Elfie's gonna be back in about half an hour, so. Shall we-
Yes. I say we shall. Alright. I suppose the double is a good idea. The double could work, but I'm not sure. I think it's. I think it's
How
risky.
about, since Isaac is far more involved with the organization already, we leave gathering intel on them up to him. Whereas we do the things that Isaac can't do because of their position, such as finding someone that could probably locate their daughter.
Well, look at it that way. My daughter is being held, shall we say, by Evan Ward, one of the leaders of the Carnifex. She's an assassin, poison maker, potion master. Very dangerous.
Very dangerous, but I just want to gather intelligence about where she is precisely if you don't know.
And definitely not in this city. The
Yep.
people who would probably know are likely people who hire assassins. The guilds, high-ranking officials who want to see someone bumped off.
Well, remind me,
She
they're
doesn't
a
operate in Paragon. I know that.
they're a poison expert, right?
Yes,
Not a magic expert.
not as far as I'm aware. No.
Well, that's wonderful then, because fortunately I wasn't intending on asking any physical people aside from one where she is. I was probably going to try and find with everyone else a scryer of some sort, someone that can use a location spell.
Scrying on someone that you only know the first name of is a bit difficult. And the problem is
Just
we
give
wouldn't
them
even be.
first and last name.
Yeah.
Also,
But,
getting a
pro-
scroll of locate person isn't like a terribly high ask, even in a like low magic world.
The problem is locate person is a bit. Isn't it just 1,000 feet?
It is. It has a limited.
It is.
So we'd need to basically be already in the city, and with scrying, we'd only see the environment around them, which could, if they are indoors, but wouldn't tell us which city they're in.
That's true, but how far away is the city they're in?
You don't know. You don't know where they are.
That's the issue.
I mean, I could double the spell. I don't know if I can do that with scrolls, actually, with Metamagic Adept. If I can cast a distance spell on it.
You can,
Yeah.
If it's a spell that you have, yeah. But if it's on a scroll, no.
Yeah, I feel like if we found like a scryer or something, they may be able to do it.
But maybe, but that's risky. We need to. The problem is just finding a hopping off point. It's. The starting point, I think it is. Our best solution is probably to ask someone in the guild. Going for the scrying or locate person is, well, There's a high likelihood of it being a dud.
I do have another really stupid way of doing it.
Yes.
So if I could find a sending stone and cast the magic that lets me figure out what the spell is and like how to recreate it, I could craft one of those, craft another one for myself, and then send one of them using my message bot when we every couple days to see if they get it to them.
Question. Question, DM.
Yes.
Would you say that knowing with the information that we have now, I am familiar with Evan Lorne?
Ooh. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Why wisdom? Wouldn't this be intelligence?
No.
No, in this instance, it would actually be wisdom.
Okay,
I'm trying to
come on.
specifically recall details or try and think of whether you'd be familiar with this person. Yay! There we go. Reconnection success. Okay. So, as I was saying before we got rudely interrupted by my OBS. As you rolled this name over in your mind, Horace,
Yes.
you feel a sharp stinging sensation at the base of your neck that sort of travels up to your temples and get a bit of a headache, and you think you remember a face, elven in nature, with auburn hair and jade green eyes.
Jade. Elven, auburn hair, jade green eyes. I.
You recall a woman leaping from branch to branch overhead, laughing in delight. As you walk side by side with someone short and someone tall.
As.
Remember
Sorry.
something in the back of your mind just sparks. And you recall for a moment, out of the fog that is your memories, 4 figures. A gnome, a tiefling, a tall, heavy-set human, and an elf. An elf named Evan. A lithe,
Okay.
roguish type. And then there's a sharp stab of pain and another memory flashes by. You remember running in a temple. Familiar looking temple. You remember reaching out and grasping the hilt of the sword that you now hold at your side. You remember turning back to face an assailant of some kind. You remember seeing sharp daggers clash with your blade, green eyes driven crazed, grey skin. Your mind clouds over.
Do I remember any phrase, anything that they have said?
Just the laugh. Just the laugh high above in the trees.
Okay. Like.
Happy. Mischievous in nature.
Suddenly, like, as I'm like trying to remember, suddenly start clutching at my head, clutching at my head and like leaning down on the table, and just like, what the fuck? Blink a couple of times. Just, I know Evan Lawn. I knew Evan Lawn. I knew them personally.
Once upon a time,
What the fuck? Just like, just look up. All right. I have an idea. I have a method of contacting Evan Lawn. I know the spell sending. I can contact them.
Certainly the smartest idea we have.
I mean, the question is, what
might attract some attention.
Yeah, that's the problem. We don't want to attract attention. So gonna need to. I think it would make sense if I kept it as myself. Though, what I could possibly, there is a possibility that Evan Lawn's information knows that. Acting on. Yes? Oh, sorry. Their information probably stretches out that that I have. They might have the information about me, and so I could tell her that I've gotten amnesia, and then that would match up with the reports that she might have been getting from Blackwood and other spots. Then that would try to contact her and might be able to act as if like, oh, it's wanting to go to her to rely on her and meeting back up and all that. Knowing the con effects, she's probably going to try and abuse that. If she, unless that attack didn't seem like it was just hatred boiling up. So, I think that might be a strategy, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
I think that might be an idea for further along the road, but I think the best thing to do would be to hit up the guilds first, see if there's any rumors flying around and see what information we can find.
Can you send a message to Lorne without identifying yourself?
Well, I can the message. I can act a voice, and well, my voice shifts to match you, Darren. I'm not good at doing your voice.
It,
Understand that that is the attempt.
Yes, an attempt was made. Rakan is not good, but wait, no, because Kenkus have the ability to replicate any voice. That's a racial feature.
imitation.
I'm
Yes.
saying that the act, what you're saying right now, would sound identical.
Yeah. So, I could, I could mimic anyone's voice as long as I've heard it once.
Well,
Well, yeah, as long as I've heard it. Yes.
sending spell.
Yes. 25 words or less.
A short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature
Recognize. Yeah.
in its mind recognizes you as the sender if it knows you and can answer
Right.
in a like manner immediately.
Right. I forgot about that. I forgot about the recognition part. Shit.
Hmm.
No, I can't hide who I am in the message. So,
Would have been really, really convenient if we could have just sent an anonymous message saying the vault is discovered or something.
Why can't we fish this villain?
Hmm.
I mean, we
I-
could also just do that with. No one knows what a fishing attack is nowadays.
Nope.
I thought you meant like catfish.
No, well, kind
Wait,
of.
which
It's
we're
fish.
coming
It's
to.
fish with a ph. It's
Yeah, I
pretending to be
know.
someone else.
I have a degree in computing. I know what fishing is.
And yet you didn't laugh.
Yet I haven't been employed. So still. But okay.
Okay.
And why don't we just write an anonymous letter in that case?
At least to start, let's see about getting some information. See what is actually known before we start making like vague rumors that are impossible.
Yeah. Let's. I need a bit of rest right now. Just like a step past librarian.
Isaac finishes his ale and stands. I would suggest that even if you don't make use of the contact, to, at the very least, introduce yourselves to Deranax. She could be useful in your coming endeavors. And she probably knows a great deal more than I do. She's a lot closer to Blackwood. But please understand that I've, whether unwittingly or not, dragged you all into my mess. Try not to die. He pushes back the chair, stands. If you need anything, just but since Horace has a sending spell, you know how to contact me. If he opens the tavern door. And it shuts behind him as he walks out into the night.
Well, off he goes again. We'll do something really incredibly dangerous and difficult, and they'll show up against Admonishes, I'm sure.
Probably.
We should get some
Well-
rest. What time is it? Actually, it feels like it's been an eternity.
At this point, it's probably around like 10 p.m.
Yeah, decent enough time.
Alright, good night.
I hear normal people go to bed around that time.
Did someone just open an Exacto life?
The duct tape to kidnap someone. Confused by that, but sure.
Okay, listen, don't worry about it. I shuffle a deck as a nervous tick, okay? And
You
sleeve
shuffle a
roll.
deck. You shuffle decks. I get my fingers stuck together. Shuffle a dick, yes.
Yeah, shuffle a dick. Why not?
The way this session started.
Kinky.
Oh my.
God. Why? Why this session of all sessions?
I didn't start this.
No, you didn't.
No, my fingers are just getting stuck together with thinking putty. Because this stuff is like Jesus. Anyway,
Am I? No,
Hmm?
I suppose I am. Hold on. Is that better?
Hmm?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was quieter.
yeah.
I forgot that this profile for OBS is actually slightly differently set up. Anyway, are you all heading to bed?
I am, at least.
Nope. Ingval's not particularly tired. He's gonna go check on the dragon and the donkey.
Okay. You head out, Ingvar, into the stable area of the Copper Eagle, where sit the dragon Kazuma and the donkey Horace. Horace is currently happily nibbling on some hay. Kazuma looks a little forlorn, kind of just sniffing various pillars and casting eyes at the tavern until you walk out. You get the feeling that he's not particularly interested in eating hay.
I'm gonna walk up and say, "Hey, buddy, sorry, we've."
Sorry we ignored you for 3 days straight. Are you alright? Here's hamburger.
Oh God.
Hamburger.
He's gonna set his backpack down
Hamburger.
and see if there's
Sorry,
anything.
Bad joke.
Cheeseburger?
Hamburger gulp.
Hamburger.
ham-
It's really bad
Hamburger.
joke. I don't know if anyone's ever gonna get it, but
I certainly don't.
Hambelperherger.
hamburger. No.
Anywho,
Anyway, this is
Tally
a
ho!
Pink Panther joke.
okay, great.
Very.
He's gonna rummage in his backpack to see if he can find anything for Kazuma to snack on.
What do you have in your inventory?
Bread.
I forgot.
Not much of an
You do
improvement.
have a lot of bread.
I have freshly baked bread that we nicked from the magistrate's house.
You do. You have freshly baked day-old bread that was baked by his chef. Yeah.
I've got freshly baked bread. I've got a loaf of bread. I've got mildly licked bread.
Yes, you do. I forgot that I kept giving you bread.
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 And I've got like 2 days worth of rations. This might be something that the
There's
dragon
some
likes.
dried meat and stuff in the rations.
So he's gonna pull out like a loaf of bread and then maybe some dried meats from the ration pack.
Oh no, Riccardo! I hope you're doing. I hope it's not nothing too terrible. Hopefully you will recover soon. But yeah, no. Kazuma sort of sniffles through your backpack and gulps down a couple of rations of beef jerky and stuff like that. He seems content at the very least, although you do hear his stomach rumble a little, even though you fed him most of your rations at this point.
Sorry, but I'll see what I can get from the bartender. Yes.
Generally.
I can't get this damn tin shut. There we go.
Okay. Is there anything any of you would like to do before you return for the night?
Darren,
Yes.
as you're we ordered separate rooms, correct?
Yeah, you all have separate rooms.
Yeah. As you're going up to your room, you'll just see me pacing about slightly in front of your door and just like, hey, Darren.
Can I help you, Rakan?
Yes, 'tis I can. The legend. Mind if we talk in private for a second?
Sure.
Step inside the room with you and close the door and just like lean up against the wall, staring up slightly at the ceiling. Just like, Darren, mind if I ask you a question?
I guess it would depend on the question.
Are you content? No, don't understand me wrong. I was like this as well before, but I'm going to be blunt, especially because currently among us, you're the one I suppose everyone else respects the most. I'd say.
There's an interesting estimate.
But I'm going to be very blunt. You're a coward, Darren.
This again.
Has someone brought this up to you before?
It's been accused.
Well, do you deny it?
Yes, I deny it. I just stared down like the criminal boss of the region. Are you telling me I'm a coward?
Yeah, it's less about that. It's more about the fact that you're no matter what threat we're facing, you're always the first to run.
So that someone can survive? I know a lost cause when I see it. I've seen enough of them.
And how
there's no valor won by being the last body on the pile.
But there's even less valor to be gained by being the only one alive.
If someone lives, there is a chance for ultimate victory. If everyone dies, well, there isn't.
Don't
It's
get me
foolish
wrong.
to think that it's foolish to think that falling in battle is always going to be the best idea.
It's less about that, and the fact that no matter the situation, I can always tell. Remember when we were dealing with the frogs at the portal? The portal to the Feywild. You also ran away there. When I first met you, you ran away there. Every single time you've always.
As a quick aside, because lying wasn't actually there for the frog battle.
Oh, so that was your fault then.
Darren didn't run away that battle either.
I remember him.
was gonna
He
say, I
didn't-
don't
he-
remember
Around and
fighting
then stabbed
frogs in a
into the back a
portal.
lot, but he didn't run away.
Uh,
I'm just putting that out there because I realized the line wasn't there at the time.
Might be. I did forget about that, but more to the point. Fully admittedly, I was a full-on coward as well before. I understand where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong. But being frank, if you weren't ready to put your life on the line and and fight with the clear risk of death, you should have never left home and became an adventurer. Frankly,
I didn't leave home to become an adventurer.
then what happened?
I wasn't really able to live at home. Eventually, it just got better to leave.
Then how
So annoying that we keep running into my uncle, but you know.
how come you're here and haven't just decided to settle down? Hell, with 50 platinum, you could.
It's not enough, actually. Where I want to be is going to cost me a lot more than this. A horde, really.
Uh,
What about you? When you came out of the Feywild, where do you want to be?
I don't know, frankly. I came out of the. I have amnesia. I'm sure you've already noticed. You've already gathered as much. I don't remember much before that point. And what I do know was I was in the Wandering Library, same as the one that librarian came from. I left there and eventually became an adventurer with a party. And something happened. I lost my memory, and I just remember that I really want to hold on to that sword that I had with me. But there was one thing that I remember clearly. I was a coward. I remember. I don't remember the exact details, but I remember feeling that fear, that terror that I might that I'm going to die, that everything is going to come crashing down. But there was one. I remember someone said this to me, and again, very unnaturally, my voice shifts. You're feeling fear is something natural. All people come across fear. Those who do not experience fear are psychopaths. Bravery is not fearlessness. Bravery is feeling that fear crawl down your spine, feeling that fear try to freeze your legs in place, and still acting against it. And my voice shifts back again. I've always kept that phrase in my heart because I'm always the one charging out directly to the front of the battle. I'm always the one that's going ahead to take the brunt of the attacks. But that's because when I joined the party, I made a promise to myself. I made a mental agreement that I'm willing to put my life on the line for this. I'm willing to, even if I had barely met you all. Whenever you join a party, there is a mental agreement that these are people that you're willing to risk your life for. Because if no one is willing to, if one person isn't willing to do that for everyone else, then everything falls apart. I go out there on the front because if anybody dies, I want to be the first one on the pile.
How often do you recall me being right next to you? Because that's happened a lot. I might not be the first one in, but I am there with you.
I'm so, I'm sorry. I suppose now, knowing what we know, it was good what you did. But frankly, I feel now we've compromised ourselves more. Well, yes, it's a risk. I'm still. It's less about what it's less about what happened and more about the principle of it.
The principle
feel like-
think that we should be
Hmm?
most concerned about right now is that we came to this sound because someone killed one of our friends. And we were trying to do everything we could to do right by them. Now,
But
now we know that friend never died at all, and was just lying to us this entire time.
so now I don't
But
know what
killing
we're supposed to do.
Blackwood is probably still a net positive for the world.
And that's part of the reason we agreed to this in the first place. I just feel, to be honest, it's gonna be hard to get an opportunity as good as that one.
I don't think I want anyone else to have to go through what it took us to get this far. So we deserve it to them to finish the job.
I agree. We should definitely at the see this through to the end. Sorry, I've just been having a lot on my mind, and well, I guess it's I guess it's a bit of a whiplash. I don't remember it, but I feel it. How different you all are from my old party. It's still something I'm struggling to get used to.
Khan,
Yes?
as you say, my old party. See
Yes.
another flash. Behind your eyes, a memory. Faint, but vivid. The five of you, sitting around a campfire, laughing. A great hulking man in heavy plate armor. A horned tiefling, sitting with a mug of some sort of fine spirit. A gnome, graying hair, and an elven woman turns to look at you with sharp green eyes and a smile so wide, so happy. And it looks like she could devour, and you would be
Just like as I was talking, as this like flashes in my eyes, freeze up and just freeze up, then shiver. I'm not much one for revenge, but there is one thing that I know right now. I want to find Evan Lorne. I want to ask her all that I have in my head, and I want to make sure I drive a blade deep in her throat. I don't remember what she did, but I still feel what she did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know how deep it can run.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for taking some of your time.
It might have started with a bit of an insult, but I think we came out okay at the end there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just been something on my mind for a while, so. I want to let you know. Hope my old friend said might help a little bit, but I'll bid you adieu.
Sleep well, Rakan.
Yeah,
And then I believe there's a loud knock at the door, or a kicking in of the door as Prod walks in.
yes.
Had a guess.
Prod kicks down the door.
Did
There you go.
you
And
miss
goes
me? Are we gonna be cuddle buddies tonight? Picks you up bodily.
Which one are you picking up?
The large
Um,
feathery one that looks like a plushie.
Yes.
Yeah. Horace, you get picked up by Prod with little to no effort. Actually, no. Do you try to dodge?
I'm not gonna try and dodge. And just like as I get picked up, you know what? I might need this tonight.
Submit. No. You will be cuddled. Sort of give you a little stroke. Hey, buddy. Are you big spoon or little spoon? You don't have a choice.
I don't think I even have the option of being Big Spoon.
Oh, you know, you could ride me like a backpack.
Oh my god.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else they want to do before you all go to bed?
You
I didn't know you meant teaspoon.
God.
Oh god.
So we have our own rooms, right?
You have your own rooms.
Yes, except for Prod,
Yes.
who has
Sorry.
kidnapped Horace.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Who hasn't even returned to his room, he's just kind of chilling at the bar because he can't sleep.
Okay, so
Can
let's-
Prod
I-
actually have a conversation? Never mind.
Yes.
Yes.
But I would like to hear what the librarian wants to do first.
Sorry.
Okay. I'd like to start ritual casting Librarian's Refuge. And
Hey.
I want
Ooh.
to open that with doing my preparations, creating a little circle in candlelight, and opening the index and taking a quill and writing, "You're in danger, we need to talk."
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So you ritual cast Librarian Refuge. What does this look like?
So I think it's kind of just like sitting cross-legged in this circle I've made for myself. And the index, which has kind of always been this kind of silvery sheened book, like leather bound, that leather starts to glow a bright blue.
Hmm.
As if it's kind of made from threads of the weave itself, and the pages flick open and keep turning, and suddenly, from an outsider's perspective, the librarian just blinks out of existence.
Okay. Let's go to the Wandering Library, shall we?
Okay. Interesting.
So, very quickly, let me set this up visually. We acquire and I'm going to pull the librarian into here.
Shall we deafen?
Oh no. You guys can watch this. You guys can listen.
Okay.
Just bear in mind that none of you can intervene at the moment.
Yippee!
So,
Ooh.
librarian. You write the words. You say the chants. You imbue your will and power into the index. And you feel the space around you shift and warp. Until suddenly you are no longer in the Copper Eagle. But instead, you sit within a vast, silent marble hall. The entrance to the Wandering Library, with its flickering, floating magical flames, the large, unmanned front desk, the alcoves filled with books and tomes and scrolls, the small passageways leading off deeper into the library, and right in the middle, right in front, as you step foot onto the marble flooring, the great projection stands and states, as with every new arrival to the Wandering Library, as with every new entrance, welcome, friend. It appears that you have stumbled across the door to the Wandering Library. Take your time and read a while. It's not going anywhere. Or is it? And you've heard this spiel 1,000 times. You know it off by heart, almost. And you let it wash over you as you look around the space that you have entered into. What do you do?
I
You have a limited
forgot how
number.
much I hated that. I feel like a kind of ping in my head as if I'm supposed to notice something, and I look down at the index, and now underneath the writing that's now kind of dipped into the page I wrote on, there's an hourglass, and I know that I don't have much time here.
You have. Let me actually check how much time you have in this space. Because I don't have the
I believe it is
archetype.
2 actions by default, but I don't remember what ritual casting does. I just know.
So ritual casting Librarian's Refuge gives you you can access the library for a period of time equivalent to 10 minutes plus 2 minutes per warlock level.
Great.
So what is your warlock level?
6.
6. Okay, so you can access the library for 22 minutes. That is
Great.
how long
That's
you have.
a lot longer than I thought it would be. Can I override the hologram?
Let me see. Not until, well, no, yeah, I would say that yes, you can override the hologram.
So I can see the library as they actually want themselves to be seen, basically, is what I'm trying to do.
Yes, I would allow that. All right. Actually, roll me. Ooh, what would this be? Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. 11.
11. You reach out and you try and enforce your will on the hologram. And for a moment you watch as it flickers and statics. But then it reforms into the visual of Edric Vox, the creator of the Wandering Library. And for a moment you think that you haven't managed to do anything. And then you notice something. Standing behind the hologram of Edric Vox, small, almost indistinct, almost invisible between the folds of his cloak. A young girl wearing a red dress, who's peeking out at you from behind Edric Vox's robes.
Hello, dear.
The voice of the library is Edric's voice, and it's booming and all-encompassing, and it keeps on with its spiel, but from below it you don't hear so much as feel an answering, not so much question as an echo of what you're saying. But it doesn't come from you.
I'm sorry. I've been away for quite a while now. That's not important. There's some bad people that are coming to try and get in, and I need something to stop them.
You hear this echo again, but it's not an echo. But it is. It's strange. It's like the library is taking the words of Edric Vox, the pre-recorded words, and slipping them in between his spiel, his speech. And you hear the words, I know. And you hear the words, that's why I sent you away.
I'm supposed to be your caretaker. I'm supposed to be taking care of you, not the other way around.
You feel a sudden sadness wash over you. And the words, you can't take care of me if you are no longer around.
I know, but I can at least help from the outside. Please, just
You
I need to
hear
look something up.
in the distance something else. Something echoing through the corridors in the distance. Something that sounds like a clink of metal.
It's still here, isn't it?
You can feel the voice once again. Yes.
I walk up to the tome open on the desk, which I know is a kind of reference for the library. And I will my intent into it.
Okay, what are you trying to do?
I want to go to the restricted area of the library that is about one of the most antithetical subjects to mages and wizards. I want to go to the part that discerns magical objects and anti-magic.
Okay, roll me a wisdom check.
A 13.
14. You attempt to enforce your will on the central index, that which all other indexes are linked. And you hear and feel a force push back against your will. And you get the sense that the library does not want you to go there. Not because it doesn't want you to have that knowledge, but because whatever is in the library is in that section right now. And you hear, as these energies shift around you, a louder clank, and the dragging of heavy boots on torn, shredded carpet. And then you hear and you watch as half the library's hallway just slides to the left and down, and another section slots into place. And the sound of the dragging chains and scraping metal boots on wood slowly fade away. You watch as above you the ceiling rotates and lifts, and walls slowly move in, and bookcases close in around the top of the room with a balcony and stairs. And then everything's quiet again.
Of course, it's in the one place I need. Can you bring anything here? Any reference tomes? Anything?
You watch as a small section of the floor slides down behind you. Turn around, this small marble circle slides in and to the left. And out of it climbs a small six-legged creature with brass legs and a small cage on its back. You recognize it as an organizer, which scurries up the wall and up to the second level where all of these bookcases have now slid into place. And you watch as it scurries along the wall to a small section where it pulls on a large leather-bound volume with golden writing along the back. And it pulls it out and puts it in the cage using these sort of small limbs that are sort of constantly moving in one way or another. And it climbs back down the wall and delivers you this book. And the book is entitled Forbidden Practices. Mages of the North. And you open it and you see that in the index listed is Anti-Magic, a guide to defeating your enemies.
Thank you.
You look down at the index in your hand, and you notice that the timer at this point is about halfway through. You probably only have about 10 minutes left.
Sorry, I think you just cut out there for me. What'd you say?
You have about 10 minutes left in the library.
Can I make an intelligence check to try and... I presume I can't take this book out with me.
No. You
Yeah.
can only come in and leave with what you have if you're using Librarian's Refuge.
Can I take an intelligence check to try and find practical implementation section so that I would have the knowledge to implement it?
Okay. Yep. Roll it.
Or
Roll
the
it.
spear. Yes, they're both intel, doesn't matter. 12. Wow, I'm doing really mediocre in a really important place.
Okay. It takes you probably most of the time you have, about 9 minutes, until you find a small paragraph. And this isn't a book that's realistically about the specifics of how to apply this stuff. It's more generalized knowledge. It's not from the restricted section. You look through, and there's some small references, but there's one specific paragraph that states, anti-magic devices are difficult to craft and even more complicated to operate. In order to create one requires a strong enough anti-magic component. Something that drains ambient magic from its surroundings. And then you see the small hourglass that is slowly draining on the page of your index start to flash red.
Sorry, it looks like I'll have to go now. I'll be back. I will be
Hear
back.
the voice in the back of your mind, whispering gently, forgivingly. I wait. Don't forget. And then the entire room shifts. You feel your being stretched and pulled and then squashed. And you're back in the room of the Copper Eagle. And you feel a singular tear slide down your cheek.
I think if you go past the librarian's room, you'll probably hear a lot more than a single tear for the rest of the night.
Big
Oh,
prod.
I love a bit of
Eavesdrop.
drama, don't you?
Oh my goodness. Big Prod, on their way to have a conversation with Ingvar, does hear this and gently knocks on the door to see if the librarian wants a cuddle.
Horace under one arm.
Horace under.
Oh, it's
But I put
fine, we're
Horace to
holding
bed
a
like he's a
bird right
baby.
now.
I'm still being held on to very carefully.
Yeah.
It's
Put you
fine.
on my shoulder. You okay?
I'm fine.
Okay. Just remember, I'm always here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm gonna go sneak some more beers. So if you ever want alcohol, I can provide that too. Okay. Bye bye. I'll go down to the tavern, where I believe Ingvar is still chilling. I might have got
Yep.
the wrong end of that stick.
No, but he's still down there.
Still chilling.
I'm rocking Horace to sleep like a baby. I'll go and have a drink with Ingvar.
Can birds
Lord.
purr?
Say that again?
Can birds purr?
Can birds purr?
Technically, like birds can make a little cooing noise.
I mean, it is Horace. And Horace can mimic other voices. He could probably mimic a pair if he tried hard enough.
You just
What,
hear
does- Now that's just a growl.
Yeah.
No, that's Perry's platypus.
Very endearing.
Perry the platypus isn't a bird.
A platypus?
I mean, is a platypus a bird? It has a beak.
Horace the
No,
platypus!
and
It's a
eggs.
monotremes.
Wait, no.
Okay.
The platypus is a weird one, isn't it? It lays eggs, has a beak, but is a mammal, isn't it?
And also very feminist.
And venomous, yes.
And they glow green in the dark
Platypus is
a little bit.
Okay. So what do you have to talk about with Ingvar? Rob? What do you
I'm like, hey, noticed you weren't feeling up to it, and neither am I. Shut up! I knock into the
noticed you
fifth
weren't
wall.
feeling up to it.
I know you weren't at our regular spot for our alleyway fucking session. Horace, so I wanted to check in and make sure everything was okay.
Oh, that's what all that
That
howling
is
is.
not at all what I meant. But if that's what Prod
Oh,
conveyed, then maybe
God.
that's what Prod conveyed. You
Oh.
fucking talking about.
Amazing.
I'll be right back.
Ingvar's not drunk enough for that.
Alright then. Go two more over here. Dog stuff. Slides a drink over to you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to do that all the time. I promise.
Yeah,
just-
sure about that.
There's a refractory period.
I'm trying to
Oh,
stick to my oath. And sometimes I do some weird shit. Alright?
I'll take your word for it. I'm not particularly knowledgeable about paladins and their roles, but I'll take your word for it.
I can tell you if you want.
Yeah,
Bit
yeah,
weird
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Well, for us, it's different. My god, she's an odd one. And I like her. I do. I really do. She is the most wonderful Kalis. But my oath is not a normal paladin oath. I mean, most paladins, they swear to do good or to heal and avenge the fallen or whatever. And our oath is it's a bit different. It's an oath to greatness. An oath to saying yes to shit that you probably shouldn't say yes to taking life as it should, grabbing life by the tits, you know what I mean? And doing it all in her
To
name.
YOLO.
Kind of an
Oh,
oath to
that's-
YOLO. But, I mean, what it means is that it's kind of a suicidal oath. We have to do something great in our lifetimes, otherwise that's our oath broken. We have to do something amazingly batshit that we earn the respect of our goddess.
Like
and
the
sometimes,
enemy, apparently.
I mean, if that'll get us there. Also, I have made part of my oath is just to be hot, and I'm sorry, but I'm doing very well on that. He like flashes the abs again.
I mean, you can't really flash the abs when the abs are always on display, but sure.
He like tenses them and then makes his pecs do that jiggly thing.
Okay.
Jesus.
I really think that you should probably have been a barbarian, not a paladin, all things considered, considering you
All
basically
things
just wear
considered, I
armor.
think you're probably right. I think you're probably right. But
A barbarian in paladin's clothing.
Pretty much.
I can't do
This is why
anything
the
by half
multi-class
measures.
exists.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
know. I can't do anything by half measures. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that one.
But I mean, I've got drama going on. The librarian definitely has drama going on. I have no idea. Shh, is Darren asleep? Not Darren.
Horace asleep, you
Is
mean.
Horace asleep?
Yes, by now, like, his Horus is asleep, yes.
I don't even know what species this guy is. He's definitely got something going on.
The platypus.
Oh, God.
Horace the platypus, everybody. Not a kenku anymore, he's a platypus.
Horace the platypus.
A Kenku takes the knife. Horace the
It's
Kenku.
okay, cool.
Oh, Jesus.
And Darren definitely has something going on, but you're just vibing with us this whole time with a fucking dragon. I haven't heard you say more than like 8 words at a time. In the nicest way, I will die for you, but what's your deal?
Well, when you spend so long with the party that's louder than you are, you just tend to slip into the background. I've never
I'm giving
been
you space.
I've never been one to shove my thoughts and opinions to the front row. I've never been one to raise my voice, to yell above the rest.
Do you want to?
I could do, I suppose, but my nature has always been more of the quiet, stoic type.
Okay.
And no one's particularly... I don't recall if anybody's really ever asked about my past before.
I'm
And-
asking.
It's not as exciting as say Horace or the librarian or anything like that. I was once a happy man. I worked as a miner. I was a lead engineer in the mines up in Hopewell. Until I was married. Had a wonderful wife, 2 beautiful children. And then one day there was an accident. I don't recall much from that day, only that it cost me a leg. I'm covered in burns. And I don't have a wife anymore, or a daughter. All I have left is me, my son, who is currently staying with my brother. And all I have to find out what happened on that fateful day is a fiery orb, which I currently am chasing down because it's no longer in my possession.
You say it's not that interesting, but it fucking matters. I mean, can we help trace this orb thing?
The last I think we heard of anything to do with the orb was up at the mines where we lost Gilk. I think. It's been a while. bound. It could be here in Farrenholm. It could be on the other side of the country. I don't know anymore. The trail seems to have gone cold for now. Especially since we seem to have other issues at the moment, what with Blackwell and Isaac reappearing.
Takes a long sip of his drink. Would you like me to tell the others to keep an eye out? Not your whole vibe, but your everything.
They found me digging around for the orb. So they know of its existence. They know that I'm looking for it, but they don't know. I don't recall they know the specifics behind it. I don't think I've ever mentioned the fact that I've lost half my family.
What were their names?
My wife's name was Cecilia. And my daughter was Rose.
Cecilia made a good choice. And Rose must have had a wonderful dad.
Thank you.
I'm sure your son, what's his name?
Oh,
What's his
my son's name's Oliver.
Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver's currently being looked after by my older brother, Stefan.
Oliver has a good dad. And Stefan's doing good work. Do you need a hug, man?
I wouldn't mind a hug. You seem to have your arms a bit full, though.
No, I just transfer Horace to one arm, and I'd scoop the other around you and like cuddle up. My dude, everyone in this group has so much trauma. I only have so many arms.
You're not wrong, but at the end of the day, we're trying. We're trying our best.
But you're not. I mean, okay, I've been in a few adventuring parties, and to be fair, most of them have been theatre kids who will openly trauma dump at any conceivable moment. But you guys, you don't talk. You don't talk about what's going on. You have a wife, and anyway. I mean...
Well, I was always taught not... My parents were always of the mindset of don't bother anybody else with your thoughts. Sort of thing.
Bother me with your thoughts. Bother me. I want to be bothered by them. Bother me all the time with them. Every time you think I have a bad idea, I need you to say it. Every time you think someone else has a bad idea, I need you to say it. Your thoughts and your opinions do not bother me. They are an asset. They are an arsenal in our growing weaponry of brains. And I don't have enough to go around when it comes to the mind. So I really need someone else to speak up.
Then I shall promise to try a little bit harder. And he just lets out like this tiny little sniffle.
I go, okay, down your drink. I understand. Down the drink, down the drink.
Why?
Oh,
Down the drink. I've had too many bro conversations to know how this ends if you continue that snifflage. I know. I don't know, you wouldn't like that either. So I love you dearly. Now let's drink.
Yeah, I suppose he just kind of downs the mug then.
And
Okay.
you need to tell me if I'm wrong thinking that Blackwood as well is attractive.
Everybody.
I mean,
I'm not asking if I should. I'm asking if he's hot.
I mean, I can kind of see the attraction. I don't particularly swing that way unless I'm absolutely palladic, but
Todd stares down at the drink and sort of maybe slides another one across.
Anyway,
But it doesn't do
Nice.
anything about it.
goes on. Our party, in various states of disarray, some sobbing in their rooms, others sobbing at the bar, some taking the evening to rest. The next morning, sun rises over the city. You are all awoken by the sound of a town crier. Guard captain murdered, found in alleyway in lower district. Carnifex syndicate still on the loose. And following that, crowning of Prince Regent in 5 days.
So there's a job opening.
Oh my god.
Prod, I think, is slumped on the bar, still cradling Horace. That's what
Who has
wakes
had
up.
a very uncomfortable night's sleep.
Who's had a beautiful night's sleep. My arms are soft and plushy.
Ingmar just kind of wakes up and falls off the bar stool.
Get up.
What happened?
Prince Regent, so important. I will be kissing. Hang on. I think we need a group meeting.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call it for the evening. I hope you all enjoyed tonight. I certainly did. I'm glad that I've got the party back on track, kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Well, you gave us all the information, so now we have the track to see.
You have the track. You can see where you're going.
Yes, thank you.
I
Brodsky,
will
like
add
always,
some
scared of
notes. I
Pokemon.
will add some notes to the notes channel.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, because Horace has decided that he needs to dip out early, not decided, he has had to dip out early due to family issues. We're gonna call it
the Horace became dipped out.
the Horace, sure. We're gonna call it for the evening. We will pick this up next session. There is bound to be many interesting things. I was really hoping for a bar fight today, but apparently that didn't happen.
No, instead we had feelings and trauma.
Tomorrow.
Instead, you had feelings and trauma. Pretty much.
Oh dear.
But yeah, thank you all very much for joining us this evening. I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. I'm gonna throw you all at a TB Sliver, who is currently streaming some Warhammer.
Oh god.
Thank you all very much for joining us. I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. Yeah. Go enjoy some Darktide, and we'll see you all tomorrow for something with me and Lying, maybe. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Have a very good evening, everybody, and a very, very good night, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
As you read the wrong person, but never mind.
Oh, I did read. Oh, well.
Oh,
Abby and
Well, I'm sure they'll enjoy
Sliver
it.
are streaming literally the same thing, and I'm relatively certain of, like, streaming together, so it doesn't really matter.
fair enough.
Sick.
Okay. MVP XP. Who gets it?
I would say Prod. For being